My 12 alter egos. At 7:01 a.m., my phone is a dividend. 12 accounts, 3 transfers, 1 grotesque pride. Sebastian is my lover and my ATM. Sebastian sent 88,880. Sebastian sent 66,660. Sebastian sent 52,000. That's right, Sebastian Mitchell, my boyfriend. A first-generation entrepreneur who struck gold on his debut venture and now sits on a fortune worth hundreds of millions. Just as I'm collecting my morning transfers, I notice something odd about account 010, the sweet sister persona. There's only one message. Sebastian sent $520? I stare at the screen, checking multiple times. This account is clearly a dud. All my other accounts pull in tens of thousands, and this one gets me grocery money? I switch back to my main account, where 1,134,000 waits, lost in thought. Sebastian isn't into the gentle, nurturing type. Mental note: rebrand this one as a damaged rich girl instead. The scholarship letter was still folded in the bottom of my drawer, declined. I learned early you either earn security or beg for it. 12 personas felt like investing in survival. Sebastian is my boyfriend. I do like him, but I like his money more. 3 months ago, when I discovered he's essentially a human ATM dispensing cash to every pretty face online, I got angry. If you're going to play dirty, don't blame me for playing dirtier. I created 12 fake accounts immediately: Ice Queen, Tomboy, Soft Girl, struggling college students for variety. After considerable effort, I managed to get each persona into his special contacts list. Since you love throwing money around so much, I'll catch every dollar. Better my accounts than some random side pieces. I have to admire my own brilliance. My studio apartment tells a different story than my morning phone screen. Peeling paint, a mattress on the floor, secondhand furniture that doesn't match. The space between my phone's dividend notifications and this reality is where my shame lives. I pull out the scholarship letter, University of Chicago MBA program. We regret to inform you. The words haven't changed in 3 months of rereading. Without that degree, without family money, without connections, I'm one emergency away from eviction. My mother's voice echoes from our last phone call. Emma, you can't just expect handouts. Work harder. Easy advice from someone who married into security at 22. The fake accounts aren't just clever, they're survival. Every transfer represents another month of rent, another buffer against returning to the childhood bedroom where motivational posters couldn't hide the collection notices. I close the drawer and check my phone. More notifications from Sebastian's morning generosity. The guilt tastes metallic, but the security tastes sweeter. A knock rattles the front door. I dress quickly and find Sebastian outside, helicopter rotors spinning lazily behind him, holding a Hermes shopping bag. Miss me, babe? High cheekbones, thin lips, eyes that look at me with pure adoration. If he wasn't messaging all my fake accounts, I might believe his devotion is genuine. Of course I did. I throw myself into his arms with practiced enthusiasm. I missed you so much. For you. He hands me the Hermes bag. Where do you want to go today? I peek inside a silk scarf worth more than most people's rent. I want to try that seafood place downtown. The expensive one. Sebastian's face lights up. He takes my hand naturally. Let's go. Oceanside is famous throughout the state. I usually can't afford it, but for Valentine's Day, I'm going to milk him for everything he's worth. Living the dream. Sebastian secures the most luxurious private dining room. Order whatever you like. He hands me the menu. I scan it quickly. Most entrees cost more than my monthly grocery budget. Everything looks amazing. Without hesitation, Sebastian hands the menu to the server. We'll take one of everything. The server's eyes widen. Why, yes, sir. Isn't this expensive? I ask, feigning concern. Don't worry about it. Sebastian smiles, dark eyes sparkling. If you want it, get it. Love you. I blow him a kiss across the table. This player gets excited when yesterday he was teaching one of my innocent personas about interesting topics. Pure-hearted romantic, my ass. When the food arrives, lobsters as long as my arm, abalone, bigger than my hand, caviar, king crab, this meal leaves me absolutely stuffed. Sebastian barely eats, just watches me with an amused smile that creeps me out. Tonight, Sebastian suddenly starts, I have to work late, so I probably won't have time to hang out. Hearing those words makes my body tense. I have a business dinner tonight too, so I can't spend time with you either. Sorry. No problem, we have plenty of time together. I blow him another kiss. Sebastian's ears turn red. This player's acting skills deserve an Oscar. After Sebastian drops me off, I immediately text Madison Emergency Girls' Night. Meet me at Raven Street. Her response comes instantly. Drama level 110? Solid 8. Bring the good lipstick. South State, Downtown H District, Raven Street. Madison waits at the entrance in a super short skirt. It's Valentine's Day and your guy isn't taking you out? She asks, linking arms. I roll my eyes. He's busy. None of my 12 accounts got dates tonight, but somehow he found time for someone else. Well, we can't let ourselves fall behind. Let's go. Madison drags me into the most famous club on the Strip. Flashing lights, intoxicating atmosphere. On the main floor, a tall guy does a strip tease while the crowd goes wild. I get caught up in the energy and start to let loose. Come on, loosen up, is less than #0. 6 hashes greater than Madison slides my jacket off, revealing a strappy, barely there top. Every guy in the vicinity starts staring. Hey, gorgeous. A guy who looks younger than me approaches. Wanna dance? High cheekbones, thin lips, big eyes with an almost innocent look. He reminds me of Sebastian somehow. I don't refuse, placing my hand on his arm. Through his thin shirt, I feel solid muscle. When did the quality get so good around here? You seem distracted, he says, pulling me closer. Am I not a good dancer? You're fine, I respond automatically. Initially guilty, but now with this hottie next to me, my concerns disappear. Nice choice. Madison appears beside me, checking out my dance partner. Make sure to tip him well later. I pull out hundreds and stuff them into his shirt pocket. Here, this is for you. He freezes, then laughs, showing perfect white teeth. Hey, I'm not actually, the club music drowns him out. I can only see his tempting red lips moving. Shh. I press my finger to his lips. Don't talk. Focus on dancing. Ha. He laughs, leaning close to my ear. Okay, gorgeous. By the way, I'm Ethan. I nod absently, then wrap myself around him completely. Youth really is everything. Look at this body, so strong and energetic. After who knows how long, alcohol makes me dizzy. Ethan helps me to the bathroom where I splash cold water on my face and touch up makeup. The reflection shows a stunning woman in a strappy mini dress. If I were a guy, I'd fall for myself. So, how does Sebastian resist my charms while pursuing so many other women? Men's minds are too complicated. They want what they can't have while keeping what they've got. Unconsciously, I pull out my phone. My screen floods with messages, all from Sebastian's main account, asking when I'll be home. But every single fake account received identical messages. What are you doing? Wanna hang out? My hands clench into fists. Working late. My ass. Working late to hook up with random girls. I randomly pick one account and reply, "Are you not busy tonight, Daddy?" His immediate response, "I'm busy, but nothing's more important than you, baby." This message makes me want to throw my phone. Everyone's your baby. When I come out, Ethan leans against the wall checking his phone. "You okay?" he asks, putting it away to steady me. "Let me help you." I push him away. "I'm fine. Don't need help." "Damn, you're cold," Ethan raises an eyebrow. "You were all over me a minute ago. What happened in that bathroom?" "I'm here to spend money and have fun, not looking for complications. One Sebastian requiring 12 fake accounts is exhausting enough. How about we exchange numbers?" Ethan pulls out his phone. I hesitate, about to refuse, but thinking about Sebastian messaging all my accounts makes me petty, so I agree. As we round the corner, Madison rushes toward me, panic in her eyes. I think I just saw Sebastian. Hearing his name, I freeze. Sebastian? He brought some girl here? But wait, this is a male strip club. I'm not sure. I only caught a glimpse. Maybe we should leave, Madison suggests. If it really is him, this could get messy. Just as we're about to leave, Ethan grabs my wrist. It's late for two girls to go home alone. How about I give you a ride? I frown. Didn't you drink? How can you drive? I can call a rideshare, he clarifies. As if we can't do that ourselves. I wave him off, declining. Madison's eyes go wide, signaling me to look behind us. I turn around. Sebastian walks out of a private room with his arm around a beautiful woman. The moment he looks up, our eyes lock. The instant Sebastian sees me, his expression turns cold. He says something to the woman, sending her away, then strides over with long legs. Ethan looks between Sebastian and me, smirking. Boyfriend? Get out of here, now. Madison pushes him urgently. Well, gorgeous. I guess I'll see you later? Ethan glances at Sebastian and walks away. Sebastian stands in front of me, and I have only one thought: I'm screwed. My money supply is about to dry up. Didn't you say you were busy tonight? Working late? Sebastian looks at me, dark pupils reflecting my image. Is this where you work late? For a moment, I'm speechless. Maybe it's the alcohol, or maybe I'm fed up, but my brain short circuits. You're here too. If you can have fun, why can't I? Sebastian's face darkens. He grabs my arm and drags me out of the club. The night air hits me, sobering me considerably. Sebastian stops and turns around, his eyes watery. I swear I can see hurt in them. Suddenly, he pulls me into his arms. His voice is low and wounded. What's so great about him? I can do anything he can do. Why can't you choose me? I'm completely stunned. After saying those words, before I can process them, Sebastian straightens up and takes a deep breath. Let's go home. During the ride, Sebastian leans against the window, silent. I clutch my phone, figuring that since I got caught red-handed, I shouldn't push my luck. Even though he's a player, I still need his money. When we get home, I want to say something, but Sebastian gets out without looking at me and heads straight upstairs. You're the player here. How are you more upset than me? Sebastian lies on his side with his back to me. When I get in, he scoots further away. I steal all the blankets. The next morning, when I wake up, his side is empty. Sebastian left early. I check my phone instinctively, only messages from Madison. Not even my fake accounts got anything from Sebastian. How did it go? Is less than #0. 6 is greater than you two didn't break up, did you? Not yet. We're in a cold war. When I got home, he wouldn't look at me or speak to me. Aren't you going to explain? Explain what? I didn't do anything wrong. Besides, I wasn't actually doing anything inappropriate. I should be asking him about that woman at the club. She's probably another conquest. You sound defensive. Are you actually jealous? I stare at this message, stunned. She has a point. Why am I getting upset? I should be happy. I take a deep breath, put down my phone, and toss in bed. Can I really let my ATM walk away? Do I need to swallow my pride and make up with him? For 3 straight days, Sebastian goes to work, comes home, eats, sleeps, and doesn't say a single word to me. Communication happens through meaningful glances. If not for this Cold War, I never would have realized how well Sebastian and I know each other. One look and I know he's saying the bathroom needs toilet paper. On the 3rd day of our silent treatment, my phone rings with an unknown number. Emma Chen? This is David Martinez from First National Bank's Anti-Money Laundering Division. My blood turns to ice. Yes? We flagged multiple large transfers to your accounts from the same source over the past 3 months. The pattern suggests potential structuring or fraud. Can you explain the nature of these transactions? I sink onto my couch, hands shaking. They're gifts. From my boyfriend. Gifts totaling over $2 million in 3 months? Ma'am, we need documentation of the legitimate source of these funds. Without proper documentation, we're required to freeze the accounts and file a suspicious activity report with FinCEN. How long do I have? 72 hours to provide documentation. The line goes dead. I stare at my phone, throat closing. A SAR would trigger a federal investigation. My fake accounts, the systematic deception, it would all come out. I immediately start deleting accounts, but it's too late. The digital trail exists. Just as I'm spiraling about the bank call, one of my fake accounts buzzes. Sebastian sent $666,000. 600. Are you there? I need to ask you something. This is my mature woman, understanding big sister, persona. I accept the money and reply, "What's up?" After a moment, I recently found out my girlfriend is cheating on me with other guys. What should I do? Is this girlfriend he's talking about? Me? What do you mean? You have a girlfriend and you're hitting on me? Sebastian, sent $166,666. Please don't be mad. I really don't know what else to do. Can you help me? I accept the payment. Then I think about it. Isn't Sebastian supposed to be the player? Why is he acting vulnerable with my fake account? Fine. Tell me about you and your girlfriend. Sebastian goes quiet, then sends a long message describing me cheating on him on Valentine's Day. Out of curiosity, I ask, "You're rich anyway. Just find a new girlfriend." He pauses. Then, you might not believe this, but she's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Ha! I don't believe it for a second. But hearing that definitely strokes my ego. I think she doesn't like me. The other night when I was drunk, I asked her to choose me, and she didn't even answer. In the adult world, not saying yes clearly means no. Every word drips with melodrama. If I didn't know he was a player, I'd be cursing out this girlfriend. After thinking it over, I reply, "Go apologize to her first." Think carefully, might she also be suspicious about why you were at that kind of place? Did you have another woman with you? Sebastian goes silent. After a while, Sebastian sent $166,666. Beautiful, wise goddess. Can you tell me how to pursue a sweet, innocent girl like her? A player like you needs dating advice? I'm getting annoyed. I quickly browse shopping apps, compile everything I want but can't afford into a list, and send it to him. These are gifts girls like nowadays. Buy them for her girls love surprises. Also, since she likes younger guys, you should try that approach too. Take that, you player. Let's see if I can't milk you dry. He pauses, then quickly responds, "Thank you, gorgeous." I put down my phone. I never expected him to actually try to win me back. Players don't change their ways. The next morning, I stumble out of my room, rubbing my eyes. The sight in front of me shocks me awake. Designer goods cover nearly every inch of the living room, practically blinding me with luxury. "Baby?" Sebastian walks over, looking at me tenderly. "Do you like them?" "They're all for you." I'm genuinely shocked. He followed through on what I told him to do. I'm about to say I love them, but then I remember this guy has been a player for so long. I can't just forgive him after one grand gesture. I nod, playing it cool. They're all right. "Baby, come eat breakfast." Sebastian takes my hand, leading me to the dining room where an elaborate spread waits. I made it myself. Try it? He cooked this? I suppress my excitement, sit down, and try the steak. It's delicious. While internally celebrating, I keep my expression neutral. Not bad. "Really? Then eat more, baby." Sebastian's eyes light up as he serves me soup. All these babies are really working on me. This breakfast in bed treatment plus designer goods filling the living room, it feels amazing. Yesterday, I put that $4 million bag on my wish list as a joke, never thinking it would be sitting in my living room today. While my anger has mostly subsided, I'm still upset. He can afford to shower me with gifts now, but who knows if he's doing the same for others. After breakfast, Sebastian looks at me with hopeful eyes. "Baby today." Before he can finish, I wipe my mouth. I'm pretty busy today. "If you don't have anything important, maybe just go to work?" Sebastian pauses, looking hurt. "Okay, baby." At 5 p.m. sharp, my entire office stops working and migrates to the windows. The reason becomes clear immediately. A silver McLaren parks outside our building, surrounded by what appears to be several thousand red roses arranged in elaborate patterns. And Sebastian, wearing a white suit, stands waiting. "Emma!" My coworker Jake runs over excitedly. "Is that your admirer downstairs?" Holy shit! That's like something out of a movie. My heart sinks as Sebastian spots me in the window and waves. Sure enough, Sebastian pulls out a microphone and starts singing at the top of his lungs. "I love you. I love you. Just like mice love rice." I have never been more mortified in my entire life. This is like a public execution. Wow. Say yes. Say yes. My coworkers burst into cheers. Passers-by stop to stare at this spectacle. Sebastian, oblivious to my mortification, thinks he looks suave as he walks over and takes my hand. "I prepared this especially for you, baby. Do you like it?" All my subsided anger comes flooding back. "Sebastian." I grit my teeth. "You are incredible." Then I turn and run. I'm already mentally drafting my resignation letter. There's no way I can stay at this company another day. Back home, my face still burns with embarrassment. Sebastian's hurried footsteps echo before he knocks on the bedroom door. Baby, why did you leave? Didn't you like the surprise?" I pull covers over my head and shout, "Get lost." The door goes quiet. I lie in bed scrolling through my phone. My work group chat goes crazy. Holy shit, Emma is so lucky. She found herself a rich boyfriend. Her boyfriend is seriously hot, though this confession style is a bit unique. You're complaining about the style? If this were my boyfriend, I'd slap myself for fighting with him. Just as I'm debating leaving the group chat, Elena's account buzzes Sebastian, sent 188,888 big sister. Help me. I think I made my girlfriend even madder. I accept the money, then ask what happened while staying in character. Sebastian sends a voice message explaining the whole situation. I facepalm. That confession style is way too cheesy. Modern girls don't like being the center of attention like that. She's probably really embarrassed. What should I do? I saw it in movies where the female lead always gets moved by this kind of thing. Stop watching so many movies. While frustrated and angry, Sebastian's intentions were good. Just his execution was ridiculous. Darling, gorgeous big sister, please teach me. Sebastian sent 200,000. I accept the payment and reluctantly agree. Fine. Suddenly, I think of something. Besides me, you probably have plenty of other fish in your pond, right? Sebastian quickly replies, Wow, big sister, you're so perceptive. Where does this weird pride come from? Is less than #0. 6 is greater than I force down my anger. You're a player yourself, but you want your girlfriend to love only you? Don't you think that's much? Big sister, you don't understand. Never mind. So what should I do? First, besides me, you need to cut off all the other fish in your pond. That's not too much to ask, right? Sebastian suddenly goes quiet. Is this it? I thought he was so determined to win me back. Turns out he won't even clean up his act. Player. Scumbag. After a while, all of them? Wouldn't that be harsh? Now I'm really pissed. Then don't bother trying to win her back. No. Sebastian immediately replies, I'll listen to you, big sister. The next morning when I wake up, I instinctively switch to my fake accounts to send Sebastian good morning messages. But when I try my innocent schoolgirl account, a red exclamation point appears. I've been blocked? I try again. You are not friends with this user. I immediately think of last night's conversation with my big sister account, where I told Sebastian to clean house. Did he actually get rid of all his side pieces? I quickly switch between accounts. As expected, all 12 of my fake accounts are blocked, except for the understanding big sister one. Looking at all the red exclamation points on my screen, I feel complicated. I honestly can't tell if I'm happy or what. He really did clean out his entire roster. But the fact remains that he's a player, and I can't figure out what he's thinking. After thinking about it, I decide to stop overthinking. Since I can't figure it out, I'll just go with the flow. So I message Sebastian. I haven't been to Disneyland in forever. I want to go. Come with me. About 30 minutes pass before Sebastian replies, Baby, I have some work stuff the next couple days. I can't go with you. How about we go in a few days? Fine. Don't come with me. I'll find someone who will. I immediately contact Madison and that guy who keeps messaging me, Ethan. Perfect timing to drag him along and make Sebastian jealous. Disneyland is huge and packed. The lines are insane. What do we do? Every ride has a 3-hour wait. Madison looks defeated. A guy in a beret approaches mysteriously. Ladies, want to skip all the lines? Obviously, I nod. He holds up 2 fingers this much, and you won't have to wait for anything. I'm about to pay when Ethan beats me to it, handing over $2,000. The scalper leads us straight from the back of a line to the front and pushes us through. That's it? We're confused. The people behind us start yelling. Why don't they have to wait? Yeah, where are your manners? I'm dying of embarrassment, but the scalper righteously declares, You guys enjoy yourselves. I'll handle the crowd. All day, we're serenaded by the scalper's arguments while experiencing every ride without waiting. Madison and Ethan seem to be hitting it off. Especially in the haunted house, where Ethan gets so scared he hides in Madison's arms. I heard there's a fireworks show tonight, Madison tells me. Some rich guy is proposing, so everyone gets an amazing fireworks display. Night falls over Disneyland. Look! Madison points at the sky. Fireworks shoot up and explode. Boom. The entire night sky lights up. Then, various fireworks spell out words Emma Chen, will you be with me? Holy shit, what are the odds of someone having the same name? Madison marvels. Before I can answer, there's commotion as people part to create a path. The show stops, replaced by flower petals and a man standing in the flower rain. Sebastian. My eye twitches. This is romantic, but I haven't forgotten Ethan is right here. Sure enough, after Sebastian orchestrates this grand gesture, he spots me in the crowd. With Ethan. His face darkens. Boom. A firework shoots up and explodes a giant green cabbage that turns the entire Disneyland green. Sebastian's face goes from black to green. Everyone watches with envy as they look at me. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. The chanting is thunderous. In this atmosphere, my heart beats uncontrollably, racing faster than the fireworks. My head itches. I think I'm growing a romance-addled brain. We'll give you two some space, Madison winks, dragging Ethan into the crowd. Now it's just Sebastian and me. He walks toward me with a serious expression, eyes full of love. Emma Chen, will you be with me? I'm trembling. You don't want to? Sebastian looks hurt. It's not that. I grit my teeth and point down. You're standing on my foot. That's like 180 pounds right there. 3 days after Disneyland, while Sebastian and I are attempting normalcy, my doorbell rings. I open it to find a man in a cheap suit holding a manila envelope. Emma Chen? I'm David Kim, Pacific Coast Investigations. I have a report for you. I think you have the wrong person. You're listed as an interested party in our investigation of Sebastian Mitchell's financial activities. He hands me the envelope. Mr. Mitchell hired us 3 months ago. My hands shake as I open it. Inside are screenshots of every fake account, transaction records, and photos of me at various locations around the city. What is this? Evidence of systematic financial fraud. Mr. Mitchell suspected someone was using his personal information to create fake online relationships for monetary gain. We traced all accounts back to your devices and locations. The investigator leaves. I spread the contents across my coffee table, undeniable proof of everything I've done. Bank records, IP addresses, timestamps, aligning perfectly with my activities. Sebastian's key turns in the lock 20 minutes later. How long have you known is less than #0. 6# is greater than I ask when he enters. Sebastian stops, seeing the report spread across the table. Known about what? Don't. I hold up a photo of myself at a coffee shop, timestamped the same day I messaged him as 3 different personas. How long? His shoulders slump. 6 weeks. 6 weeks? You knew I was scamming you for 6 weeks and said nothing? It's complicated. No, it's not. Either you cared or you didn't. Sebastian sits across from me, the evidence between us like a wall. His voice is flat, clinical. I hired the investigator because I thought you were having an affair. You were secretive, always on your phone, emotionally distant. I was convinced you were seeing someone else. So you had me followed instead of asking? I was terrified of what you'd say. When the investigator told me about the accounts, I realized you'd been talking to me the whole time. 12 different versions of you. I stare at the photos, me entering coffee shops, using my laptop, walking to the bank. You've been watching me for months. The investigator was watching you. I was trying to understand why my girlfriend needed to become 12 different people to talk to me. Maybe because you were messaging dozens of other women? Those messages were from before we got serious. I should have deleted them. Were there others? After us? Sebastian is quiet. There were some online friendships that crossed boundaries. I ended all of them yesterday. Why now? Because Elena told me to. The admission hangs in the air. I've been giving my boyfriend relationship advice about our relationship through a fake account, while he knew it was me the entire time. This is insane, I whisper. Yes, Sebastian says simply. It is. My phone rings. The bank's number again. Miss Chen? This is David Martinez. We've completed our preliminary review. Given the amounts involved and the systematic nature of the transactions, we're required to file a suspicious activity report with FinCEN. Federal investigators will likely contact you within the week. Sebastian watches my face as I hang up. What was that? The bank flagged the transfers. They're filing a federal report. Sebastian, that triggers criminal investigations. His face goes pale. Emma, that's serious. Wire fraud, money laundering, you're looking at federal charges. I know. Sebastian stands and walks to the window. There's something else you should know. What now? The investigator gave me 2 options in his report. One was to let the investigation proceed, you'd face charges, but I'd be clear. The other was to verify to authorities that I knowingly sent you money as gifts between romantic partners. What does that mean? It means I could tell the bank and federal investigators that I was aware of your accounts and willingly participated. But only if there's complete transparency going forward. No more fake accounts, no more deception of any kind. I look at the evidence spread between us. And if I can't do that, then you're looking at federal charges. The investigator estimated 3 to 5 years in federal prison. The choice crystallizes with brutal clarity. I can keep the money, maintain what's left of my elaborate deception, and face criminal prosecution. Or I can delete everything, trust Sebastian completely, and hope his story saves me. Why would you help me? I ask. After everything I've done? Because despite everything, the lies, the manipulation, the systematic fraud, I fell in love with you. All 12 versions of you. I pick up my phone and start deleting accounts. One by one, the personas disappear: Sophia, Victoria, and finally Elena. Each deletion feels like shedding old skin, revealing something raw underneath. What about the money? Keep it. Consider it payment for the most elaborate relationship therapy in history. Sebastian sits beside me. But Emma, this is the last time we do anything like this. Complete honesty from now on. I nod, deleting the final account. Complete honesty. Even when it's uncomfortable. Especially then. The investigators arrive the following Tuesday. 2 agents in dark suits who spread Sebastian's verification letters across our dining table with methodical precision. Mr. Mitchell confirms these were gifts to his romantic partner, Agent Reynolds says, reviewing documents. Unusual amounts, but not illegal if consensual. They were consensual. I managed my throat tight. The concern was the multiple fake accounts used to solicit these gifts. That pattern suggests organized fraud. Sebastian takes my hand under the table. Emma was role-playing different personas for our relationship. I was aware and participated willingly. We have an unconventional dynamic, but everything was consensual between us. The agents exchange glances. Agent Kim leans forward. Role-playing? We explore different relationship dynamics, Sebastian says calmly. Emma would create personas, and I'd interact with them. It's part of our intimacy. Unusual, but not criminal. The amounts are significant, Mr. Mitchell. Over $2 million. I'm worth several hundred million. These amounts represent a tiny fraction of my net worth. I give my girlfriend generous gifts because I can afford to and because I love her. After 2 hours of questions, they pack their files. We'll close this matter, Agent Reynolds says. But Miss Chen, Understand that any future suspicious activity will receive enhanced scrutiny. When they leave, I collapse onto the couch, emotionally drained. It's over, Sebastian says, but his voice carries weight that suggests otherwise. The money sits in our joint account, now legitimate but forever marked by its origin. What felt like clever survival strategy 3 months ago now feels like something smaller, more desperate. Do you regret it? Sebastian asks that night as we lie in bed, the space between us still charged with unresolved tension. Which part? Any of it. The accounts, the deception, taking the money. I consider the question. The scholarship rejection letter is still in my drawer, the fear that drove me to create those personas. But looking at Sebastian, I realized the cost wasn't just legal risk or embarrassment. I regret how long it took me to trust you, I say finally. I regret making you feel like you couldn't. We're quiet for a while, both understanding that something fundamental has shifted. The elaborate games are over, but so is the certainty they provided. Now there's just us, without masks or personas or safety nets. What happens now? I ask. Now we figure out how to be honest with each other. Starting from scratch. Will you still love me when I'm not 12 different people? Sebastian pulls me closer, but his embrace feels tentative. Emma, I fell in love with you before I ever met the others. They just showed me I was right to. The next few months pass in strange limbo. Sebastian and I move through our shared space, like actors who've forgotten their lines. Without the elaborate deception to navigate around, we're forced to confront who we actually are to each other. I don't know how to talk to you anymore, I admit one evening as we eat takeout in front of the TV. What do you mean? I mean, I spent months crafting the perfect responses as Elena or Sophia or Victoria. Now, when you ask me how my day was, I don't know if you want the real answer or the version that makes you happy. Sebastian puts down his chopsticks. I want the real answer. I've always wanted the real answer. The real answer is that I spent today wondering if you still think about those conversations we had when you thought I was someone else. Elena understood you in ways I'm not sure I do. Elena was you. Elena was the version of me that wasn't afraid of losing you. The admission hangs between us. Sebastian reaches for my hand, but I pull back instinctively. I'm still afraid, I whisper. 2 weeks later, I'm alone in our apartment when I find myself pulling out the old screenshots I'd saved from Elena's account. The conversations I'd had with Sebastian through her feel more intimate than anything we've shared since the revelation. My phone rings. Madison's name appears. How are things? She asks. Complicated. I scroll through Elena's messages while we talk. I keep thinking about who I was when I was her. More confident, wiser, less afraid. Emma, you realize Elena was still you, right? Was she, though? Or was she who I thought Sebastian wanted me to be? Does it matter? If those conversations were real to both of you, but they weren't real. I interrupt, voice cracking. They were based on a lie. Everything good about us is built on fraud. That's not true, and you know it. But I don't know it. Sitting in our expensive apartment, surrounded by gifts bought with money I essentially stole, I don't know anything anymore. I hang up and call Sebastian. I need to see you, I say when he answers. I'm in a meeting. Now, Sebastian. I need to see you now. 20 minutes later, he walks through the door to find me sitting on the floor, surrounded by printouts of our Elena conversations. Emma, what are you doing? I'm trying to figure out who I am when I'm not lying to you. Sebastian sits beside me on the floor. You're the woman I fell in love with. Which version? All of them. None of them. I don't know how to answer that question. Neither do I. I look at the papers scattered around us. I created Elena because I thought she was who you needed. But maybe I need her too. Maybe without her, I'm just... this. I gesture at myself. Scared and broke and not good enough. You're not broke anymore. Because I stole from you. Because I gave to you. There's a difference. Is there? Sebastian helps me gather up the printouts, but instead of throwing them away, he sits at our dining table and starts reading through them. What are you doing? Trying to understand something. He looks up at me. Do you know what I love most about these conversations? That they weren't real? That they were the first time you ever asked me what I was afraid of. He holds up a printed page. Right here. Elena asks me what keeps me up at night. In 2 years of dating, you'd never asked me that question directly. I sink into the chair across from him. What did you tell her? That I was afraid of being loved for my money instead of for who I am. And what did she say? She said that people who love you for your money don't usually create elaborate schemes to earn it themselves. They just ask for it. I stare at him. I said that? Elena said that. But Elena was you, Emma. The part of you that wasn't afraid to be wise. I was afraid to be wise with you because I thought if you saw who I really was, you'd realize you could do better. And I was afraid to be vulnerable with you because I thought if you saw who I really was, you'd realize I was just another rich guy with intimacy issues. We look at each other across the table, two people who spent months pretending to be other people in order to love each other honestly. This is so fucked up, I say. Completely fucked up, Sebastian agrees. But it worked. It worked. 6 months after the federal investigation closes, Sebastian comes home with a small velvet box. What's this? I ask. Open it. Inside is the most beautiful ring I've ever seen. Classic, elegant, exactly what I would have chosen for myself. Sebastian. I know we've done everything backward, he says, sitting on the edge of our couch. We lied to each other, manipulated each other, committed federal crimes together. But somehow, we ended up here. Here? Completely crazy about each other despite our best efforts to complicate everything. I stare at the ring, throat tight. Are you sure you want to marry the woman who systematically defrauded you? I'm sure I want to marry the woman who was brave enough to show me 12 different versions of herself until I understood who she really was. That's a very romantic way to describe financial crimes. I'm a very romantic guy. I look at this ridiculous, wonderful man who somehow fell in love with all my deceptions and convinced me to fall in love with his truth. What about the investigators? The bank? The fact that our entire relationship is built on elaborate fraud? What about it? Doesn't it bother you that people will never understand our story? Emma, we barely understand our story. Why should anyone else? He has a point. So what do you say? Will you marry me? I think about Elena, who would have wise advice about this moment. I think about Victoria, who would demand to see the prenup. I think about sweet Sophia, who would cry with joy. But they're all gone now. There's just me, Emma Chen, reformed financial criminal, future wife to a man who loves me enough to help me become honest. Yes, I say, slipping the ring onto my finger. But I'm keeping my own name. I wouldn't expect anything else. We need to talk about the guest list, I tell Sebastian over wedding magazines. What about it? Your guest list looks like a Fortune 500 directory. Mine looks like Madison and my college roommate. Also, how exactly do we explain how we met without mentioning the systematic fraud? We met online. We connected over shared interests. What kind of shared interests? Financial planning. You have excellent budgeting skills. I nearly choke on my coffee. Sebastian. What? It's true. You managed to extract $2 million from me over 3 months while maintaining 12 different personalities. That's impressive project management. You can't tell people that at our wedding. I can tell people you're very good with money. promise me you won't mention the fake accounts. I promise not to mention the fake accounts. Or the federal investigation. Or the federal investigation. Or the fact that Elena gave you relationship advice about dating me. That one's going to be harder. Elena gave really good advice. Madison insists on throwing me a bachelorette party, which she organizes with military precision. We're going somewhere classy this time, she announces. No strip clubs, no questionable financial transactions, just good, clean fun. What happened to living dangerously? I'm dating Ethan now. He's all the danger I can handle. How are things with you two? Madison's face lights up. Really good. Turns out he's not actually a stripper, he was just there with friends that night. He's a software engineer. Sweet, stable, completely honest about everything. Honesty is overrated, I joke. Says the woman who's marrying the man she systematically defrauded. Point taken. The night before our wedding, Sebastian and I are lying in our hotel suite, officially spending our last night as unmarried people. Can I tell you something? Sebastian says, into the darkness. Always. I kept screenshots of all Elena's messages. Why? Because they're the most honest conversations we ever had. Before we learned to be honest with each other directly, that's either very sweet or deeply concerning. With us, those aren't mutually exclusive categories. True. I turn to face him. Can I tell you something? Of course. I kept the money. Sebastian laughs. All of it? Every penny. It's sitting in investment accounts earning returns. What were you planning to do with it? I thought maybe we could use it for the honeymoon. Or the down payment on a house. Or... I pause, suddenly embarrassed. Or what? Our kids' college funds is less than #0. 6 hash is greater than so. They never have to write scholarship applications that get rejected. Sebastian is quiet for so long, I think he might have fallen asleep. Sebastian? I'm just trying to figure out how you managed to turn wire fraud into responsible long-term financial planning. I'm very goal-oriented. That's one of the many things I love about you. Our wedding is small, elegant, and mercifully free of helicopters or public singing. Sebastian looks devastating in his tuxedo, and I've never felt more beautiful than walking down the aisle toward him. When I reach the altar, he takes my hands and whispers, "You look incredible." "Thank you," I whisper back. Try not to embarrass us during the vows. No promises. The ceremony is traditional, except for one moment during the ring exchange when Sebastian leans close and murmurs, "Elena would be so proud." I bite my lip to keep from laughing. When the minister asks if Sebastian takes me to be his wife, he says, "I do," with a voice clear and strong. When it's my turn, I look into Sebastian's eyes and see our entire complicated, ridiculous, criminal story reflected there. I do. You may kiss the bride. Sebastian's kiss is soft, perfect, and completely honest. When we break apart, he whispers against my lips, "Hello, Mrs. Mitchell." I kept my own name. "Hello, Mrs. Chen, who refuses to be Mrs. Mitchell." That's better. "Babe, Elena's got a client." I call from the bedroom. "Lucky Elena," Sebastian calls back from the kitchen where he's burning breakfast again. "You give the best advice." I'd reactivated Elena's account 6 months after our wedding, but only for giving relationship advice to strangers. It felt like a waste to let all that hard-earned wisdom go unused. The message is from an unknown user. "Hi, Elena, I need advice about my boyfriend. I think he might be seeing other people, but I'm not sure how to handle it." I settle back against the pillows and type, "Tell me everything. We'll figure this out together." It feels good to be Elena again, even in this limited capacity. She was the best version of myself, confident, wise, unafraid. Marriage to Sebastian has made me more like her in real life, but sometimes it's nice to slip into her shoes for strangers who need guidance. Well, it's complicated. I found some messages on his phone. Through the bedroom door, I can hear Sebastian singing something that sounds suspiciously like "I love you like mice love rice." Some things never change. But some things do change. And for the better. I'm Chen Mitchell, now we compromised, and I've never been happier to be exactly who I am. Reformed financial criminal, former con artist, current relationship counselor, and wife to a man who somehow loves all the contradictions that make me real. Take your time. I typed to my new client. I'm here to listen. Epilogue, the price paid. 5 years later, the letter arrives on a Tuesday morning, addressed to Chen Mitchell from the Internal Revenue Service. Audit notification. I tell Sebastian as he reads over my shoulder. They're reviewing our tax returns from the year we met, he observes. Think they'll figure it out? The gift reporting was legitimate. We have documentation. But if they dig deeper? Sebastian takes the letter from my hands. Then we'll deal with it. Together. The money from my elaborate fraud bought us a house, funded our investment portfolio, and sits in our children's education accounts. It's been laundered through time and legitimate channels, but its origins remain. Do you ever regret it? I ask. Not stopping me when you first figured it out? Do you regret doing it? I consider the question seriously. Without those 12 personas, would Sebastian and I have ever learned to be vulnerable with each other? Without the crisis, would we have ever moved past our mutual fear of intimacy? I regret the lies, I say finally. But I don't regret what they taught us. The lies were just the delivery method, Sebastian says. The truth was always there underneath. Very philosophical for a Tuesday morning. I'm a very deep person. Elena taught me that. I laugh, but it's complicated laughter. The audit will probably find nothing actionable. Too much time has passed. Too many legitimate transactions have obscured the trail. But the possibility remains that someday, someone will look closely enough at our foundation to see the cracks. Sebastian? Yeah? If they do figure it out, if there are consequences, then we'll face them. But Emma, whatever happens, I'm glad we found each other. Even if we found each other through federal crimes. I look at this man who chose to help me cover up systematic fraud rather than lose me, who turned my criminal behavior into a love story, who somehow made my worst impulses into the foundation of our best life. Me too, I say, and mean it. The audit letter sits on our kitchen table, a reminder that some prices take years to come due. But we're together, we're honest now, and we're ready for whatever consequences our elaborate beginning might still demand. Some love stories start with fraud. Ours just happened to start with particularly well-organized fraud. And that, somehow, makes all the difference. The end.